Hey, welcome back to Divine Speaks with Leash. I am Leash. Yes, I am in a tent inside of my niece's bedroom. I'm getting me one of these, okay? I'm getting me one of these. It's very serene. This is going to be an altar space for me. However, today is a day that I share more about my story as it has intensified. If you hear some in the background, her bathroom's right there, someone's in there, and the fan is going. So I apologize, but I don't, because that's just what's happening right now. But how did I end up in a tent inside of my niece's room in my brother's house? Well, I told y'all some videos back that, here and there I was going to share more about my personal life and what I have going on. And Spirit Source has guided me that today is the day to share. Okay? Because there's a lot of things happening and going on in my aura and my life. And I feel it's going to be very inspirational. It's going to be very enlightening. I trust that it'll be healing for whomever this is for. 123, as I say that, progression, right? But rewind, right? So we're coming into the end of 2024. It's been a very tumultuous year for me in a lot of ways, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, all of the things. At the top of the year, I had been with my very beautifully powerful spiritual mentor, and at the first quarter of the year, it was time for us to separate for divinely inspired reasons. However, in January, we were in Tulum with my other soul sisters, and we had an intimate moment, and she told me that 2024 was going to be a very hard year for me. Reminded me that it is the year of the dragon. My spirit animal was the dog, and those are arch enemies. So I was going to have a very hard year. Although dragons are a part of us and they're beautiful. And I have my own dragon, but it's still the energy of a dragon. That's the enemy of my spirit animal dog. So she told me that, and then she said also that she and Source both believed in me and that I could do this. Now, I had no idea what she was talking about to the fullness, right? Because there were already things at the end of last year, the same time, eviction, right? I was in a marriage, and when I decided, because I still loved him, right? And my soul told me that that was not an aligned relationship for me, which it wasn't. We'll get to that another time, because are we aligned with the masculine? Okay, a masculine. But anyway, so at the time, January 2023, tried counseling, try to do all these things to really make the marriage work. We were together for 10 years, married for 2. And I tried, right? I did the things to make it work. Communication, the this, the that, the whatever. It did not work. I was in a relationship with his inner child. And once I realized that, it was time to go. But, so fast forward, January, she says that. March, I filed for divorce. May, I'm divorced, but we're still in our lease. We had about 6 months left. I thought it was amicable. It wasn't. He upped and left in October. It was very sudden. Didn't tell me. Just one day he wasn't there. And so did what I needed to do. Wasn't able. Lease was up December 31st. I was evicted December 20th. And in the state of Arizona, when you get evicted, it's on your record for 7 years. You may as well have the fucking plague, polio. You may as well have an incurable disease before you're able to rent a home again. So that happened, right? So starting January, although I went to Tulum, I was already a planned spiritual soul trip with my sisters, my soul sisters, and planned and paid for. But from January till July, technically, I was homeless. My children and I did what I could for about a month. I ended up sending them to my sister in Texas for almost 2 months while I lived in my car, lived in hotels, lived wherever I could be, working and doing what I could, Instacart, this, that, and the third. March, I got a pretty nice home situation with a booking.com kind of hostel where I was able to rent a room, 555 on the timer, in this beautiful home in a gated community. And I was able to rent a room and keep that for a couple of months. Got a call saying, because it's a crazy thing here, you get homeless and children or no children, it's such a influx of homeless people happening. This year alone has already been 85,000 households put up for eviction. Arizona has the worst tenant protection policies of any other state. And it's happening hand over hand over hand over hand over each year. And people are getting evicted on some bullshit. It's not just you didn't pay, you didn't want to pay. It's wild shit. And it's as wild as, for me, once he left and, I no longer was just paying half. I had to pay the full rent, and I didn't have full rent. I get the assistance. They approve me for a pretty substantial amount. But because the landlords, by law, are allowed to charge you late fees, even when they know they have payment coming, I was essentially evicted off of late fees. And that lasts on your record for 7 years. And I applied. I had a good job. I made good money. Didn't matter. Was not able to get a rental. I get into the shelter, the homeless shelter for women. I had a great job. I actually was working at Vanguard at the time. And making good money. Didn't matter. Did not matter. Okay? Still in Struggleville. Okay? So to speak. Really wasn't, but y'all know what I'm saying. So, fast forward, come May, I'm there. I apply for this apartment. Because of how the pay stubs appear as an income-based apartment, and however my pay stubs look from Vanguard, they were very complicated. They had all sorts of stuff on there. Income-based, they're very particular. 821, that's my number. And my birthday, I see it a lot. Anyway, it wasn't as simple. So I applied in May, got approved on or about the 9th of July, moved in on the 12th, right? Income based. Kid you not, y'all, I lose my job that I'd had for 5-6 months prior, being homeless the whole time with employment. I lose my job 21 days after getting this place. Now imagine that, right? Go through this perceived struggle, this or that. I brought my kids back in April. Brought my kids back. And my son went to go live with my other son. And my daughter came to stay with me at the little spot. And when I went to the shelter, I sent her to my oldest son, which he really didn't have the space or the capacity to keep all of us, but he made the sacrifice to keep his siblings, right, which was beautiful. However, after I lost my job, I notified the apartment complex right away, and because I was divinely covered, right? Because technically, after the first month, maybe two, places are coming for you. Like, where our money at? This, that, and the third. Nope. went all of September, because August was paid by the voucher money that I had gotten from the homeless program, right? I got September wasn't paid, October wasn't paid, November wasn't paid, December wasn't paid. Never got a notice, never got a nothing, just living, growing, evolving, releasing, learning, relearning. It's really a beautiful spiritual time for me, and I was at peace. I feel very magical. I'm a magical being, and I cloaked myself, my home, my children with bright lights of protection, as I do often. And Source kept us protected for a long time, where we didn't have to worry about those things. Fast forward to December again, a year later. Now, mind you, last December, although I was spiritually inclined and what have you, I wasn't feeling the depths of my spirituality and my truth and my soul's essence as much as I have throughout this year and in this moment, right? So that makes a difference. Makes a difference on what we receive, how we receive, if we receive, right? So last year it was very much heavily in my divine masculine energy, right? Because we're all balanced, whether you're female, male. Spirit doesn't see gender, but we each have a feminine and masculine aspect, but we're supposed to be balanced. Duality. I was very much in the do, get it done, go here, do. Because I always have been that way, right? I'm the get her done woman, right? When Source was calling me to be more 12 on the clock, more receptive, more in my feminine energy, more in the soft and ease of life, more in my true essence, right? Being a dominant masculine energy is not who feminine energies are supposed to be, and vice versa for masculine energies. It's supposed to be balanced. And if you're going to go more one way than the other, you go more of the way of, your soul's essence. That's my opinion. But anyway, so now fast forward December 8th, 2024, right? Get my daughter a dog for her birthday. Within 2 hours of having the dog bites a kid in the play yard, right? So they served me with an immediate get the hell out of here eviction. And at first, I did everything they asked me to do. I didn't know. I got the dog from the Humane Society of the state, like a reputable place. They said the dog was shy and gentle, and he was. He seemed very much like that. But like any instinctual animal, child 13:33 on the clock, child comes running up to him unexpectedly. He bit, and once they bite, ain't no like, oh, my bad, dog, let me let you go. They're gonna lock on. That's what they do. That's natural. And he's a very sweet dog. I'm not mad at him for having his natural instincts. Now this child ran away from their parents a good 10-12 feet, and the dog was in the designated dog area, and I did everything, and I looked up the law and the this and that. So when they evicted me and we went to court on December 19th, 2024, I explained what I did and all the circumstances leading up and after the event. The judge at that time, literally verbatim, told the attorney of the apartment complex trying to evict me that he agreed 100% with me and that I did everything I could possibly have done, and there was, to him, no valid reason to try to evict me. So then the apartment says, oh, we have video. It's such a savage bite. And I'm not negating that this poor child, which was only about 3 years old, was bitten and is emotionally and probably physically, physically for sure, and emotionally traumatized for a little bit. I get it. Literally, my grandson was with me that weekend, same size, age, everything. So when I saw the photos from the apartment complex, I literally broke down in tears. My heart just really sank for that baby, you know. And even though it's a baby, it's a young child, nothing happens by chance, and nothing is nothing, and everything is something. So that's a life. 15:15 on the clock. Everything in life happens for our greatest good, even when it's the most seemingly horrible thing at the time, right? But with all that being said, they were like, "Oh, we have video." Now, why they didn't show the video, have the video ready first wrap? That's because they thought they had it in the bag to just evict me on GP. Anybody don't know what that is? That's old school for general purposes. They could just evict me and be done with it because they're so used to having their way, used to having the advantage. But the judge was like, "Oh, you got video? All right, well, where is it at?" 15:55 on the calendar. Thank you, source. So it got delayed until the 24th, Christmas Eve. Now, mind you, I come from a very Christian-based background, and Jesus is Lord, and what would Jesus do, and the Christian, and blah, blah, blah. But yet, here we are on Christmas Eve evicting people. He had 81 cases on Christmas Eve of evictions. 81. That's just one judge, one court on this one day. Okay? Families, children, an overpopulated homeless community here in the Metro Phoenix area. It's ridiculous. It's spreading even to like the more well-to-do or secure suburbs. It's ridiculous. They want 3 times the rent, even though average income is only 1.5 to 2 times. It's like it's a setup, right? Energetic setup. And last year I was all enthralled into that, right? 1707. That's a new number, but it sticks out to me right now. But anywho, so on the 24th, he said he had 81 cases. Well, fast forward, here comes the 24th, 3 days ago, and I got all my paperwork, the lease. I see where I'm a researcher. I'm going to look through things. I see where the landlord has violated leases. I see the certain aspects of the lease to say they basically don't have to evict me. I can rectify and remedy the issue and just not have it happen again, and they don't have to evict me. They did not have to evict me, right? So I'm looking at it from that standpoint like, hey, hello, I had the dog for 2 hours. Give me a break. It was around other children before that. No issues. It was this particular issue, which any dog, like the previous judges, and then it was a new judge, y'all. On the 24th, it was not the same judge that agreed with me on the 19th. I did not see that one coming. Okay. Did not see that coming. But and this other judge, she was not trying to hear no logic. Even the eviction papers where the state of Arizona says they're not supposed to be served on a minor, she goes on to say a minor within reasonable age. I didn't read that in not nan part of Arizona, nothing. It didn't say within a reasonable age, it just said a minor and yada 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 as to why a minor cannot be served. But she decided to add her own ad lib to that shit. But that was all a part of, it was supposed to happen. But what was also supposed to happen was me standing in my power and truth and being who I am and making sure, because this attorney for the apartment place, he thought it was about to be this little wham bam thank you ma'am, be done 20-30 minutes. But me being who I am, being divinely guided and making sure that I channeled and I was centered before I came into this video, or this, because it was a virtual court case. Y'all, I gave him hell for 2 hours and 6 minutes. I could feel the frustration through the computer. I could feel the fuck is she, who is she through the computer. But I was divinely guided. And I'd already accepted whatever source said was to be. Now, I asked to stay because it would have been we just were doing all this floating around and all this, that, and the third, right? So I'm like, Source, I'd like to stay here. Just let me finish the lease, right? However, I also told Source, if you have something different, better, and I'm not supposed to be here now, just don't let it be, right? So I was, which is a thing for me, and I think some of you can relate and resonate to wanting to know the outcome, wanting to have an idea of what could happen, what will happen, yada, da, da. And I'm learning to detach. I'm learning the art of detachment. I'm learning how to surrender to the outcome. That's been guidance that I've gotten a lot. Surrender to the outcome, meaning whatever the outcome is, what the outcome is, don't worry about it. Don't fixate on it. Don't feel like once that outcome that you think does or doesn't come to play, that the world is ending, right? So I gave him 2 hours to him of hell. For me, I understood it to be me inserting energy into that legal construct. I knew what I was doing when I spoke to the judge, when I was speaking to the witnesses, right? Because I was my own attorney. But that's something I'm really good at. I'm good at certain things, right? So even though I wasn't looking for, I'm going to do all this so I can win, I was still doing it because I knew I was winning, even if that ruling per se was not in my favor. I was still winning on a much more bigger galactic planetarian way, right? Because I knew I was inserting this energy of resilience and power and truth and confidence and courage to all the people, because everybody is going to court that day. We're all on the call. Like, I just happened to be the first one up, right? But you have all these people that's watching, being encouraged, being empowered, being inspired, whatever it is that they got from me. I gave them hell. It wasn't woe is me and my life is horrible, please have mercy, because they don't give no fuck about no mercy and what you got going. They don't care. They don't care. A good portion of the time, or else you wouldn't fucking be in goddamn eviction court. If they cared, you already told them what was happening prior to them serving you eviction papers most of the time, right? So we're not here to beg and plead. We're not here to ask for what is innately ours. The land, the freedom, right? In all forms, financial, physical, all the ways. We're not here to beg nobody for shit. It's ours. And the last time I definitely did that. I'm like, Your Honor, but I did this and I did that and they're just da-da-da-da-da. And here he goes, I can't make them do the right thing. Bitch, how can you not? You're the judge. In your constructed system, how can you not make them do the right thing? So that just makes 23:23 on the clock, 5-5. How can you not make them do the right thing? So you know that what I'm saying is right, and you're the judge to make the decision between right or wrong, but you can't choose the right because the law says you're supposed to choose wrong. Then you wonder why people don't fucking give a fuck about the system and legalities and what have you. Alright? So fast forward, 24th comes, I'm evicted. They're like, you got until the 26th. We'll keep your things for 14 days, but y'all gotta go. I'd already been preparing. Now, mind you, part of me preparing from off rip when they first gave me the notice on the 8th or 9th, I'm already like, let me pack up, let me get this, let me get boxes, da-da-da-da-da. That was the wrong thing to do because I was already succumbing to what I thought would be the outcome as far as like not trusting what was supposed to happen. So even though the outcome was what was supposed to happen, the way that my energy was panicking and not trusting and this, that, and the third. So I recognized that, and I ended up at some point like a day or two before court. I put some of my dishes back in the cabinet. I put this back, put that back. Like, okay, well, maybe not, right? So here we are, Friday, December 27, 2024. In my beautiful niece's little beautiful tent. I'm getting me one of these when I do get me another place because it's peaceful. Okay. I'm about to be meditating up in here. Maybe do some more videos up in here. I love this. This is a vibe. It's a vibe. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I could have been anywhere in this place, but this is where I chose to be. So, what came to me earlier was, hold on, because I wrote it down because I was going to forget. What came to me earlier was, just because you're on the floor doesn't mean be on the floor. So just because you're on the floor doesn't mean you need to be on the floor. So just because you may feel as though you're on the rock bottom, you're at the lowest point, you're at this indecisive, confusing, unsure space and place in your life, doesn't mean you need to feel that or you need to respond from that place, because you can physically be there. Everything that happens physically is a result of what's happened spiritually. What happens spiritually first, then it happens physically, right? As far as all the things, right? The great, the bad, the in between. However, just because you are on the floor doesn't mean that you have to live your life like a bottom feeder, right? Because this time, now mind you, it's like a year later. Oh, we just got this place just a few months ago. I have 4 children, 2 that are, my son just turned 18 a couple weeks ago. My daughter's 15, right? It's like, I need the stability. My kids need this, and of course they do, yeah. But it's a part of their journey that they signed up for. They knew, okay, damn, when I'm 15, this is going to happen, and my mom was going to do this, and it's going to mold me. That's a part of their journey and their soul's contract. So I had to stop taking responsibility, like, my children, this, and this. And some of it is me, of course, and I have to learn my lesson, but they signed up to learn their lesson through me. Hear that? That's something to pay attention to. Somebody out there, don't put so much stress on yourself of what you're going through and how it's impacting your children, but especially if you're doing the best that you absolutely can, because you have to understand that they signed up for what they're going through with you. They signed up for that. As long as you're spiritually aligned, as long as you're doing everything that you can, as long as you're touching base with your higher self and source, and it's still happening the way it's happening, don't take on that guilt, shame, hurt, regret that is not for you to have. That's for whomever it is. Our children have their own paths. They have their own journey. They have their own soul's contract. Okay? So don't have that heaviness on your heart. I know that for sure from experience. Don't have that heaviness on your heart. Especially when you're really, truly doing all that you can. Energetically, financially, physically. You're doing your very, very best. Have some grace with yourself. 28, 28, 10, 10. Let's go. Numbers is popping through today. I'm catching them. So now it's like, boom, all right. In one instance, I feel how I would have been last year. If last year would have repeated this year energetically, I'd be in somebody's psychiatric ward. My kids would be probably in CPS some damn where. I would be having a whole goddamn breakdown. Okay? But not this time, because I feel it differently energetically. I've had so many beautiful things over the last couple of new moons. November 1st, December 1st. I anticipate and I feel it impending for this December 30th, second new moon, black moon, rarity. I feel it. Like, ooh. Alright. Something is cooking real good. I feel it. I'm very much excited and aligned with the unknown. Entering the void. As one of my tarot decks guides me. Enter the void. My higher self speaking to, through, and for me. understanding and knowing who I truly am. And as I continue to grow and learn and explore that part of myself and the essence of myself, I give myself more grace, more love. And I'm realizing the more I love myself and I accept myself for who I am and where I'm at, the more beautiful things unfold in my life. Like this divinely beautiful, he don't know we come from the same star system yet. He don't remember, but I remember. I feel it. He feels it, but he ain't connected those dots yet. Because sometimes the feminine energies, we come into things a little bit quicker than masculine energies at this particular time. Different lifetimes, because he and I have definitely lived some lifetimes together, for sure. We are most certainly from the same star system. But all these beautiful other aspects of my life has just blossomed since this all started. I met him a month ago. About 10 days before all this happened. It's been a month. And it's been the most beautiful, especially the last 3 weeks. It's so interesting because he's going through his own similar things in his own way, but we just feel this divinity, this beautifulness in our connection, this familiarity in our connection. The way I love myself and I love who I'm becoming, and the way I'm deeply connecting with myself. 3133 on the timer. That's a new number, but it stood out. There's a lot of gratitude. There's a lot of curiosity and excitement. There's a lot of trust. Like, I'm not worried. I'm at my brother's. I can only stay here for 7 days because he just got his new place with my niece. So, you only can have a guest for 7 days before they put these motherfuckers on your lease. So we got 7 days, 6 now, 5 nights, 4 days. And I'm still not worried. I'm at the most loving, peaceful, trusting point in my life. I don't have a car this time. Last time I had my truck. We slept in our truck for a few nights. I could go here, go there, move around. I don't have a vehicle. I don't have a job. My new job don't start until the 13th. If I take the second job offer, which pays a little bit more, that still doesn't start till the 6th. That's not going to help me till at least, a week or two after that for paycheck wise, Credit ain't all of that, based off of a little fuckery system of having to have credit, right? Nothing seems aligned to be able to move forward from 3313 on the clock from the traditional standpoint. But all of the divine messages that I get and all the different ways the source gives me messages that resonate, that hold true for me, I get a lot of different ones, and I've been paying very close attention these last 3333 come through. Ascended Masters. Okay? Everything is well. All is well. I trust the universe. I trust myself. I trust Source. I believe in myself. I believe in Source. And I'm grateful for the belief that Source has in me. Because I knew this year was going to be hard. And this year is not over. Right? Despite it being at the end, it's not over. But today, tomorrow, 29th. Oh, we in this building. I knew I needed to come on here and do this video. That was a part of telling my story as a living testimony. Because I promise y'all, people will be like, well, what the hell? How you going? You're worse off this year than you were last year. You're just as happy and you're doing videos and you're not stressing out. I'm not. I'm a multidimensional spiritual being first who chose to come to earth and have the human experience, which is part of the evictions and the this and the heartbreak but I'm spiritual first. I'm ancient first. I'm a front runner, game changer first. And this human experience will not deter me from my soul's growth or mission. And part of that is allowing my soul to evolve and grow from the human experience. Thank you, Source. I worry not, for I'm well provided for and taken care of, and the universe always conspires in my favor, especially in the times where I think it's going to be A, and the universe comes up with Z, and Z is way better than A. So I can relax. I can energetically invest and feel the vision of what I desire to feel and see in tangible form. Because I was once told, our marriage with the universe is for us to feel and allow the universe to make it tangible. So I challenge you to do that. Whatever it is that you are going through, eviction, divorce, repo, job loss, heartache, whatever, feel what it is that you desire, what is your heart's most beautiful, imaginative space to be in. Feel that, see that, believe that you deserve that. And thus so it shall be. Okay? So that is a little background for me. I told y'all several videos back that I will give you some context on my story. And earlier today, Source was like, today's the day. Share. So I trust that something I said today was inspiring and encouraging and uplifting and kind of help you through whatever it is that you're going through, because it's the same energy, it's just different rewind. Same energy, different situations. So like I say, it's never the person, it's the energy. It's never the situation, it's the energy. How are you going to deal with it? How are you going to approach it? Are you going to allow it to overcome you? Does that make sense? Allow it to overwhelm you? There we go. Or are you going to take the bull by its horns? Not necessarily control, but just flow with the rhythm of the bull. Right? Just flow with it. I personally, I'm expecting miraculous things to occur from this situation for me and my children. And that makes me very excited. I'm worthy. I deserve it. It is mine by divine birthright, as it is yours, my dear. I love you, beautiful souls. Keep going. Do not let the circumstances of this world, of this life, of this human experience thwart you from what you feel burning in your heart. Your solar plexus, all your chakras are telling you the truth of what and who you are. Believe that. Follow that. Allow that. I love you, beautiful souls. Until next time.